Hello, welcome to Frosthaven. Thank you developers for giving me a key, but now let's speak about the unpleasant stuff, or the grain of salt stuff. These developers are great because they make good looking games, they know how to make animations, they know how to do a lot of things, so the game itself will be good, but keep in mind that these are the same developers as Phoenix Point. And I've detailed the little history of Phoenix Point on my Steam review if you want to know more about Phoenix Point, but before buying the game, just read a little bit about the development of Phoenix Point. So the developers are good, but you might want to read the rest of the story. Now, this is similar to Gloomhaven because it was a tabletop game, but I hope it will be more playable, more digestible than Gloomhaven. I didn't play before starting to record, so it will be interesting. Let's see the display. Yeah. How bad can it be, right? I guess it only has campaign and multiplayer. Oh, it doesn't have matchmaking, so I don't understand why games on Steam get the multiplayer tag if they don't have matchmaking. I think multiplayer means matchmaking. If it's this means local multiplayer, which is not really multiplayer itself. It's just a way to say you can play with someone else, but not multiplayer. Okay, campaign, new. And yeah, most people said they want this game to be as hard as the board game. I think it will be hard. Board games usually don't really do that well when put on a PC game. I just hope they modify the game a little bit so it's playable. That's everything I want from a game like this. Be playable and easy to understand, so I don't have to sit 5 minutes to think about what I can do. Also, yeah, the game is in early access. It's a bit expensive for the early access, but again, I have no doubts about the game being finished. I have no doubts about the game being good. I have no doubts about... anyway, the doubts will come from how fast can they finish it, how balanced it will be, how much effort they can put into it. Now, to me, this looks a lot like King's Bounty. I love King's Bounty, so this is one of the reasons that... one of the main things that attracted me about the game. We have a lot more difficulties, okay. Razor margin for error, I like that. Okay. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Don't give me a wall of text. Give me something... yeah, this is easier to understand. Of the spear. Top and bottom. So yeah, I guess... I remember Gloomhaven. You can choose the movement ability or the attack ability. I think it's very similar to Gloomhaven if you like that game. Or movement. Bottom action is action. I guess it has... okay, that's not so bad. Victory, we won! I finished the tutorial. I don't know why developers go for these weird tutorials that don't explain the game, and you're just bombarded with text, loading screens, and just rigid gameplay overall. You stay hydrated and eat well. What do you mean the characters don't eat food, but you do stay... What? The card with the lowest initiative is played first. The lowest. Yeah. I think it's like Gloomhaven where you have to choose the cards you want to play and once you play them they are on cooldown or something. Melee or ranged? Disadvantage. Okay. Undo. Movement. Yeah, it's exactly as... Okay, I was going to say a word we cannot say anymore, but it's exactly as the mechanics in Gloomhaven. Again, when you make a PC game about a tabletop game, you don't have to copy 100% of the mechanics, you can just make it playable as a turn-based game, because turn-based games, well, the main thing about them is that they're easy to play, to understand, and to focus on them, because otherwise you'll just be just out. I mean, you play a turn-based game because you don't want to play an RTS. But I mean, animations are great, everything is great. Don't attack modifier. Catalog. Wow, why did it do 8 damage? Okay. One more rest. One discard the build card, one discard. Two cards. All and here for two you can and regroup, okay. This might seem bad, but like I said, this is not as bad as Gloomhaven. Basic attack. The game is already losing me. The tutorials are so bad for these games. Yeah, I think they made a mistake by just... Oh, horrible. Just horrible to understand what's happening. Why do you need to complicate things so much? It's not supposed to be a 100% rendition of the tabletop, because the tabletop doesn't have that many fans anyway. Probably the PC gamers will be more... buy the game more than the tabletop fans. Well, at least that's my opinion. I don't know how popular the game is. Definitely give it a fair shot, but... I think they will give us multiple characters. Yeah. And with multiple characters and all of them having their own cards and having their own abilities and having basic and complex the deflection, javelin. The problem with all of this is that you have to know basically what, let's say, 10 abilities cards do for each character. So that means you need to understand what 20 cards do, which is insane. It will take more to learn the game than RTS. Jump. Put them for reparation. Oh yeah, you also have movement and attack. Do the rest of the movement. And also the names are not very descriptive. You're supposed to know what this does, okay, yeah. Potions. I kind of like the idea of the game. I hope we don't have to, to read a ton of things to understand what's happening. Use the damage. Take some damage. Insert movement. Breakable wall. Yeah, breakable wall might make you believe it's a defensive action, but it's not. While assault, bloodletting. Okay. Activate. As you can see, they're not telling you what the cards actually do, they're just telling you how to use them. Like, someone's telling you play that, do that, and then when you have to play for yourself, you might not understand. It's poison and bleeding. Oh. So, if the hand will bleed, okay. Pattern-based action, oh no. Don't like how that sounds. The bottom action of the pincer, oh, hold. Okay. What? Oh man, why do they do this? Why do they do this? Game is not a board game, and in board games you cheat anyway, so why is it so important? So what pattern? What are they talking? Okay, I guess like this. Not so bad, but come on. Simple AoE attack. They chose the worst way to explain an AoE attack. Come on. I'll still play some of the game because I like again the mechanics and the way the game is designed. Main campaign. Not the main campaign. Standard. Veteran. Hard. Now, when a game like this says it's unfair, it's unplayable. When it says it's brutal, or play on brutal, usually I play on hardest difficulty, but games like this don't have a way to balance out the... Let's play on unfair. I mean, if we will start the game on brutal, if that's a problem, I want to play more of the game, but not too much, because the system is not designed to be fun or playable, it's designed to make you think about it. Banner Spear, Bone Shaper. Is this a Harlequin? What a weird creature. This is more... ranged. And it is fire. Arcane, chaotic, nimble. Educated. Drifter. It would be so nice if you can see what all of those abilities do. I think I prefer the Drifter. Quest. That seems easier to get from ability cards. Okay, so we do have items and all of those fun stuff. 40 gold for equipment, leather armor, hardened robes. Don't have any summons. Weighted net. Okay, amulet of life. Leather armor. Yes. Of the plants. I have no idea how this works, okay? It's one of those games that they expect you to know how to play the game before you play the game, which is so weird to me. I never can understand why stuff like this happens. A jump, all of your abilities, that might be useful. Okay, so explain this to me in a way that I can understand. You know what? He seems to like affinity for elemental, just take that. Do we have any summoning abilities? Let's get the Warden Robe. Overachiever. Well, it says 2, so kill and open a door. Hopper. Where is a potion? Okay, they really insist on you being stuck in. I want to see stuff. This is why I'm playing again. Most of my complaints are related to my experience from other games, so take this with a grain of salt. But I can already see that they're insisting more on the player base that already knows how to play the game, which is a mistake in my opinion, because the game looks great and it seems like, I don't know, we don't have enough. We don't have enough turn-based games anyway. We're just supposed to know all of this stuff. Flailing tendrils. Well, training arrows, let's see what this does. This is useless in my opinion because you need to read a ton of stuff and they don't tell you what the card actually does. Like deadly shot. Draining arrow for this guy. I wonder why I cannot use these ones. Dragging. They don't explain the cards, they're explaining what the abilities do, but they don't explain how they're interacting with each other. Okay, let's select that. Oh, I guess you have to protect that from these guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot I can use the top and or bottom action. So you see, this is the problem. They tell you about basic actions and stuff like that, but they don't tell you about this. So I guess if you use the top part of a card, you lose access to the entire card, then you can only have one attack per round or something like that. You need to complete your... See, this is... They don't mention any of this in the tutorials, and I did the tutorial. You need to complete all of your actions before switching to another character. Okay. Oh, poor city guard. Okay. Oh, there's an archer. We didn't see the archer. Oh, I thought... Well, see, this is the problem, another problem. The pattern is not very clear, so... Gives you the impression you can kind of rotate it into who can attack him, but nope, nope. Oh, how did I rotate? Well, it's a little bit problematic. See, this is why having shaped skills is always going to be a problem in a game like this. Yeah, you can rotate it, but... You can only attack our character. I can use the basic action over here. I hope it will do the thing I want, and then... Keep the movement, and then... Ah, so they really want to have those hex, so that was basically useless. What? What did I do? I give up. Games like this are definitely not for me. Not because they're too hard or they're just too restrictive. And I'm not playing a game to be this restricted. You have so many cards and so many abilities, but most of them don't actually do anything because you need to be so specific with their positioning and some other stuff. This game, if you want to learn how to play this game, you have to play it hundreds of hours probably. Otherwise, you have a hard time understanding most of the things. You have to imagine in your head how this works, but you need a pen and paper to draw the actual lines to understand. Can I skip the turn? No, you have to use an action or something. Keep attacking. Turn. Attack Vile Assault. Prudent Determination. Yeah, okay. Will be I'll choose some fast initiative cards. I guess we'll... Yeah. The city court will be last. Okay, let's try this. I'm pretty sure I'll mess it up. Yeah, because you don't rotate your full attack because there's no... At least you hit someone. You'll attack the guard. Probably. Orbital Hell of Fall. Yeah, let's just take this card away. And yeah, if you run out of cards, well, tough luck, that's it. Can't use the Vile Assault. That's a heal and... I think I'll play with these two. This one is very hard to understand how to play. This one is very easy and straightforward. Oh, nobody really needs healing. Okay, ability end the turn. This will hurt, right? It's 0 damage. Your next 6 attacks. I guess he will choose the other stuff. Why can I select this one? See, this is meh. Yeah, I'll probably play more of this, but it seems like it's also pretty early into the game as well. That's a bonus. I think I'll just want... Yeah, let's kill some of these guys if possible. Keep the movement. I guess we have one shield, okay, in the turn. Now the problem is when you run out of attacks, it might be a little dicey. -1, that's great. Ah, the second damage. Not so bad. Let's lose that card. Why did that open? I didn't choose that. Oh, I guess these are my active bonuses. I want the bonus. Yeah. Oh, I guess we cannot use an attack and an attack, so that lower half is this. From the target, so we hit first and then we do something else. Bye bye. So this guy is a lot harder to kill and he does a good amount of damage. Oh, you lose those cards permanently. How do you even do this? Why don't they cover stuff like this in the tutorial? Why is it always so annoying that you are playing? Yeah, this is the same problem as Gloomhaven. So if you don't understand this type of game, you should probably just buy it when it's fully released, because it's... going to be a while before you understand what everything does. Firefly swarm and arm. At least we kill someone. I remember in Gloomhaven I was having a hard time killing one or two characters. And let's lose the mind spike. Yeah, I'll have to restart my game and see how this goes. This is very easy to use. I guess I'm immobilized. Eh. Fine, whatever. Pain. So annoying, yeah. It's such a different type of game to play. I hope the developers work more on the UI and more on explaining what some of the cars do and just speed up the game entirely, because if this was a normal turn-based game, this would last 3 minutes, but it can last up to 20 minutes because of the gameplay style. So I have to lose 2 cards to have a rest. Select an ability card to lose, then gain 2 health. That's not how it works, because it makes you select 2 cards, or maybe it's only one that I have to lose. Oh, you have to select 2. Yeah, well. I like this guy. He has a lot of weird abilities. The movement part and just heal. I see a lot of weird dances, as you can see. City guard is more like a guard, only guards. He has a lot of shield. I don't think they can kill him. What? Received 10 damage? Why is that so... Wow, how did he get such a high roll? I guess we'll have to use the bolt action. hit it hard. Okay, that's that. Okay, like that. Okay, you draw. I guess you need to do those things, but you still lose some cards. So this is what I don't understand. Why do you need to go through all of those card selections through so many hoops and bounds just to be able to play the game? It makes sense when you're playing tabletop, but here they could definitely streamline, not streamline. They could definitely, you know, improve the process. Crushing weight, and also I'm not sure. Can you see what your bonuses are? Okay, that so bloodletting. You have to remember, you have to select an attack ability and a defensive or movement ability. You cannot select two attack abilities because that will just make you lose your attack cards super fast in the beginning. Hornet. Like that. You want to attack me? Me attack? Just this the damage. Oh, that's annoying. So, see, the developers focus on all of the wrong things. How can you tell if there's not a hex over here? How do you know? Because you can barely see the hexes. Can you improve the sight of the hexes? Probably not. You'll have to restart the game and play on a lower difficulty because this will just get more and more annoying as we play. Because you just will have basic enemies that hit you for 10 damage and you just have to go and scroll through all of these abilities to understand what's happening. I guess we just need more utility on this character. Just do a basic attack, it's fine. Something we like. Yep. Confirm. Hitting someone in the face is definitely much better than selecting a magic ability that you need to spend 5 minutes to understand what it fully does. Wait, training arrows, deadly shot. Don't have any more melee abilities. It's fine. That's a lot of damage. I guess you can select the abilities based on the initiative, so you can probably select something with a lot lower initiative, that's 5 melee. Just so you're able to use the attack faster. Look at how straightforward this is. Was that 0 damage? I don't know. First you can heal. I think we'll have a lot of oh, that will be almost 0. Yeah. This is where things get very, very annoying, because if you lose too many of your attack cards, you will basically just be looking at the enemy and not being able to do anything. Have a short rest. Sometimes if you cannot have a short rest anymore, you have to have a long rest. That's still 2 cards you need to choose. Yeah, this is the part of the game I really, really hate. And if you don't play... This is the... Okay. Basically, if you don't play 1,000,000% correct from the beginning to end, you might lose the battle even if you played very well. Just let me play the game. Let's receive the damage, yes. But disarmed. And disarmed is such a good ability. Finally hit it for 3 damage. Finally use our item to heal. See, you can actually use some attacks a little better than you think. Crashing weight. I guess we can just select the draining arrow. Those are active cards. Okay, I guess if you select them. Oh. Okay, is there a way so I can just end the selection? Oh, how I hate stuff like this. I guess the short rest will have to be the one you use more often. Poisoned. No, just give him the shield. We're killing this guy shortly. Yeah, I'll have to restart the... I probably made a few mistakes with my card usage. I should have used more defensive abilities overall. And somehow he's full HP. He's exhausted, so that means bye-bye. Let's see. Aim. Yeah, and your characters just die if they run out of stuff. This is again, I don't really agree with stuff like this. They should be allowed to have basic actions. Deadly shot. The movement. That on guard is just looking us. Training arrow and continuous health. Okay. We got this, we have this. Oh, training arrows, so I can have selected a lot more targets. Come on, die because there's poison. This is the damage. Yeah, it's too much. You have to use too much brain power to simply prepare your cards for the next turns instead of just playing the game and having fun. Definitely select the drifter if you are new at the game. I don't have any abilities. Oh, and I have to basically scout out all of the other enemies. Yeah, I don't know, this game is not for me. It's not the difficulty itself, it's just the way you have to play the game and balance and, you know, manage your cards. Maybe I'll play it again at full release, but this is what it is. Games like this don't get better. This is why I love King's Bounty so much, because they managed to make all of the complex parts of a turn-based with none of the hassle of a turn-based game. So if you look at how fast you can play heroes and how fast you can play King's Bounty, yeah, you understand why King's Bounty was so good for its time, and even now it's very, very good. Anyway, see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, we have to continue. But as you can see, the tutorial... Ah, that's a closed door, so we're out of cards, and... Yeah, the only difficulty in this game is that you run out of cards before you actually finish playing the game. Bye-bye.